So I had something with a tooth. I went to the dentist's office here in Tucson, and they did just an x-ray, and they said, well, we think you have a fractured tooth. So you need to go to
endodontist.
Yeah, you know who I mean. So I went there, and they said, yes, you have a fractured tooth, or that's what it looks like, but you need this x-ray, this special x-ray that we don't do. But we can send you to this person, but your insurance won't pay for it. You'll have to pay $300. So we're going to make you an appointment. I said, no. I remembered, Mark, I find out about this. So I followed up on it. The first trip, we went down in the van, and Larry went with me. Went down to Arizona Dental, and they did the x-ray there, obviously. Well, they did the regular x-ray, and then they did this more involved x-ray that I was told was going to cost me $300 out of my pocket here, and they charged $70 there. And they said, yes, you do have a fractured tooth, but we can't save it. And they were basically telling me here all this great plan they were going to have for it. And they said, no, it's cracked down to the root, and so we'll have to extract it. I knew that because it was the longer it went, it was loose, So anyway, they did that, and it was practically painless. And so once that got healed, and by the way, they used for pain medication something I hadn't had here. It's it just melts under your tongue. Maybe you're familiar with.
Yeah.
I hadn't had that here, so I don't know if it's something new or not. But anyway, so that worked good. And then after that healed, I went back, healed beautifully. And I thought at that point that I would be having an implant. And long and short of it is, they did lots of tests and all that. And basically, I knew this. I've known it all my life. My bite is odd, and so they basically said, we can do that now, but it's not gonna work, And so they recommended if I was willing, which they didn't really. I don't think they thought I would be willing, but I was, because I knew they were right on. They said to have braces on my bottom teeth to pull those back, where they won't be pushing against the front. And so a year later, those came off, and then I could do the implant. And actually, I ended up with 3 implants because that was something I wanted to. And so that, and let's see, what else? Going back every month to have the braces adjusted, and that was like $50. My little grandson in California was having braces at the same time last year, $250 every time they went back. So there you go. And so anyway, I finished in February last month with everything. I had a cleaning, as my last thing. And so I spent a total of $7,195. And so what would that cost me otherwise? 3 or 4 times that, I believe. And I probably wouldn't have done all of it just because of the cost. But this was doable for me, and I'm glad I did it. I've been able to chew crunchy things that I haven't been able to do for years. And it's great. It's great. So what did I think? First thing I noticed, well, it's very clean. And you had said that in the things that you shared about dentistry there, and you're absolutely right. It's, very, very clean. And during the pandemic, you actually step into disinfectant, so your shoes are disinfected, your hands, take your temperature, and so on. So everything very, very careful. And in the beginning, they wore almost hazmat suits, but that lessened as time went on. State-of-the-art equipment, nice. I didn't interact with anyone there who wasn't just kind and caring, and never. I said to Jane, Jane, that we are in our family. We say things like, you know, it's a really, you know, that was a real me, Tarzan, you, Jane experience. You know, not at all there. You know, it's just very, very kind. And at one time I had to kind of chuckle because the dentist had asked me to turn my head, and I did, and it was like, thank you so much. You know, I never had somebody thank me for turning my head. So everyone kind. I'm not fluent in Spanish. That was one thing I was a little bit concerned about, you know, because you're talking about a lot of important stuff, health stuff, and but that wasn't a problem. I mean, they speak English. I wouldn't say it's always totally fluent, but one of the doctors, for instance, he had on his computer, if he didn't know a word, he would put in and get the right word. Like, he asked me if I got, I think it was, do you go outside in the sun and get vitamin D? That's a good thing. But he didn't know the word sunbathing. So that was all, you know, it's just nice that get the right words, and then there's no conflict there, you know, with understanding. So.
Oh, that's great. So you would say that you must have saved at least $20,000?
Well, you're the dentist and you kind of know the going rate, but I don't know. I think in the beginning, we sort of looked up as best we could, and we thought it would probably run into 30,000. Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that's great.
Yeah.
So what would you tell somebody who was interested? If somebody was thinking about it, what would you tell them?
Don't be afraid. Go check it out and see how you feel. And I felt totally comfortable. There was never a time that I felt uneasy with anyone or anything.